Like a stormy ocean at night, the Nintendo Switch 2018 season is a bit of a mystery. We do not know exactly what will be released. We do not know exactly what direction the system will go. But we are here with 8 big predictions for Nintendo and the Switch in 2018. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here, and we are whale hunting today, my friends, looking for those big creatures in the sea. We've got our spears, we've got our ships, and we've got our list of predictions. Some of them are about games and their release dates, some are about services and their success, and some are about sales. But before we get to our list, make sure to let us know your biggest prediction for Nintendo Switch in 2018 in the comments down below. And with that being said, Gabe, kick off our 8.
Speaking of whales, Nintendo doesn't have many whales that are bigger than Super Smash Bros. And I think we get a port in the first half of the year. We did get a port for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that did super well for Nintendo, and there is no reason for them not to follow that template once again. We don't know much about what they have coming first party other than Yoshi and Kirby, and I think that this port in the beginning of the year is a good way to get the year started in a strong manner.
It's an absolutely perfect fit. People have been clamoring for it. It's a great way to boost sales. And although I am excited for Kirby and Yoshi and Bayonetta 2+1, still think it's so funny how that works out that it's 2+1. Anyhow, Smash Brothers would be a phenomenal addition, would push consoles, and would keep the current player base very motivated and very excited. And first half of the year seems like a great fit, given prediction number 2, which is that we do get either Pokemon or Metroid Prime 4 in fall 2018. Not both, but one. We are going to say that one of these two will release, and I think we each lean a different direction. I know that I feel like Pokemon will release in fall of 2018. Maybe you lean the same way.
Yeah, I think out of both, I suppose Pokemon is the one that makes the most sense. You need something really big for the fall, akin to what Mario Odyssey was this year. And of course, to push as many consoles as they're trying to push, you've made the point many times, you need a big heavy hitter. And Pokemon is the one other than Smash, and since we think it's a port, I don't think it has the waves that a brand new Smash is going to have. So Pokemon makes sense. Of course, this is one of the predictions that I'm not 100% comfortable with, but I can definitely see one of these games coming out at the end of the year.
I think given some of the recent leaks and rumors regarding Pokemon, I think it could definitely hit, and we'll get a lot more info at that January Direct, because some people are theorizing that Metroid Prime 4 gameplay is shown, and if that's the case, we may flip-flop this and say that it's a Metroid that in fact releases this year, and not Pokemon. But let's carry on to prediction number 3, which is a little bit sadder in that we think that Nintendo's online service is going to disappoint. And for the price, it kind of doesn't have to be all that grand, but I think some people still are expecting Nintendo to hit this out of the park, and I don't know that they will. I think the eShop, as it continues to acquire more and more titles, will become disastrously crowded, and I don't know that Nintendo is prepped to make changes there. I also worry that cool additions like themes and a list of apps are not ready, and maybe not on the horizon at all. So we will have to see, but in general, I think the sloppy voice chat and some of the missing features from what we've come to expect on other platforms will deliver a slightly disappointing and sad online service when it finally launches.
I guess the fact that we're going to be charged such a little amount of money, it doesn't do a lot for my expectations, right? I fully expect that we're going to pay that money and everything's going to be kind of exactly the way it is now. I don't think the online is going to improve in any tangible way, and yes, we're going to get like a free NES game of some kind, but we don't know what shape that takes. Does that usher in, virtual console or something like that? We'll touch on that later in the video. But I do feel like it's going to disappoint, because I feel it in my gut that, hey, we're going to be paying this money now. And again, it's not a lot of money, so we do acknowledge that. But you're going to get the exact same services. No one is going to use voice chat with their app the way that no one uses it now. Although, I don't know, maybe some people use it, but as far as people in our community go, no one ever speaks about it. So, and neither of us has ever done it. We when we play Switch, we use Discord or something like that. It's a much easier solution. So I do feel like Nintendo is going to need to do something cool and unique with online, and I'm just afraid that they don't have that quite yet.
Yes, and that carries us into the middle of the list, prediction 4, which is that the Virtual Console will in fact hit, and in a form that we are familiar with. So this online service that brings an NES game and some sort of subscription, okay, cool. But they also will deliver a Virtual Console that is akin to what we've seen on past platforms. Now, will it deliver all the games we expect in this giant library? No, but it'll start small and eventually grow to something that does do at least somewhat justice to Nintendo's classic titles.
Yes, and we are expecting maybe around E3 summer sometime. I feel like that would be a good time for this to hit, especially in those summer lulls where there's not a lot of games coming out. And the reason why I feel like we think this is coming is because Nintendo has literally no reason not to do it. If they could get it to work on the Wii and Switch, 3DS, they're leaving money on the table here. Like, they are aware that people want to buy these games that are a lot of people's favorite games, and I can literally think of no reason why they wouldn't do it.
Absolutely. I hope that we're right. Possibly of all these, I hope this is the one we're most right about, because it's very, very, very just so perfect for those classic games. And we'll have to wait and see if this is a year that we get an NES or an N64 classic, or we get a Virtual Console, or maybe even both. But regardless, the fifth prediction is that we get themed Joy-Con sets. Now, I think that Nintendo here is going to take a page out of the Instagram Etsy playbook and deliver more unique and more Nintendo-specific Joy-Con sets. So we've had, the colors, and we've had some that correlate to Splatoon or correlate to Mario, but we haven't had anything that really is game-specific or console-specific. And I think Nintendo would be very smart and very likely to do what they've done on 3DS and deliver some very cool-looking Joy-Con. Maybe a Super Nintendo theme, maybe an N64 theme, things of that sort that have become very popular in the custom scene. Nintendo will adopt, and maybe even some with logos, a la what they did with the Wiimotes and Bowser, Mario, Peach, Yoshi, Toad, and hopefully some that pay homage to their past consoles.
One of my gaming resolutions, Switch resolutions for the year, is to get more Joy-Con. So I absolutely hope this happens, and I would be all over it as soon as they release anything like what you're talking about.
Absolutely. Prediction number 6 is one that I think is very likely, but might catch some people by surprise, given Nintendo's Switch track record, and that is that Mario Odyssey receives no DLC. We have seen quite a bit of downloadable content for games like Zelda and Mario plus Rabbids, and Nintendo has made comments on how the platform is perfect for DLC, but I feel like Super Mario Odyssey was designed in a way that it will not receive the DLC treatment or the Season Pass treatment like some of Nintendo's other titles.
I hope we're wrong about this one, because I can easily see them just adding a kingdom and, a few outfits and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, we haven't heard anything about this whatsoever. And, Odyssey came out in October. So some time has passed. It feels like maybe no DLC is coming. It's such a big title that's going to sell regardless. Nintendo's going to be they're making profit on the game. So, and it being very evergreen as well, as we've mentioned in other videos. Like, this is one of the games that carries over into the subsequent years, no matter when it was released. But yeah, maybe no Mario DLC.
Well, and it's a massive game that, with all of the moons that are available, it doesn't really need DLC, even though it'd be cool. I just think it'll be the oddball. ARMS, lots of DLC. Splatoon 2, just piles of DLC. Zelda, some pretty substantial DLC. Mario Odyssey, none. And that brings us to our 7th prediction, which is a little bit more upbeat, and that is that Pikmin 4 finally releases September 2018. We know the game has been in development for a while, we know that it has been near complete for a while, and we know that Miyamoto has a very soft spot for this Garden franchise. I loved Pikmin 3. I think it is one of the gems of Wii U and very underrated. The multiplayer is also a riot, and that will be great on Switch when Pikmin 4 finally does release.
Yes, September makes sense. Pikmin 4, I fully believe, is happening in 2018, as you touched on. It's been ready for quite some time, so I don't know what they're waiting on. It's finally time. Zach, I really want to go back to the garden.
Yes, take us to the garden in September. Those fall vibes and trees and apples and pumpkins. Let's do it with Pikmin, and please make it more like Pikmin 3 and not like Hey Pikmin, because that tried to bring Pikmin to a new platform and wasn't really the same. But Switch Pikmin, that's going to be great. And especially getting to take those little buggers on the go. I love it. Our 8th and final prediction is numerically based, and that is that Nintendo reaches 30 million Switches sold by the end of calendar 2018. We know that they've already hit the number 10 in just about 9 months, and they're predicting to reach 37 by April of 2019. Therefore, I think that 30 million total by the end of the year is very likely, and Nintendo will be in an incredibly lucrative and envied spot if they do reach that total this coming year.
If we get the Smash port like we think, if we get Pokemon like we have talked about, this is absolutely happening, right? Both of those are going to move units, and as long as they can maintain a presence at retail where anyone can just walk in and pick one up, this should be no problem. 30 million is a lot of consoles, so I mean, no one would be as happy as us if they do this, except probably Nintendo themselves. But yeah, do you think this happens? Like, what needs to happen for them to hit 30 million? Like Pokemon and Smash, or just one? Do you think
consistent releases, some third-party support, a solid E3, and making sure that supply and stock is readily available? I don't think it's out of the question at all. I think this is a train that will continue to gain steam, and if these predictions pan out, Smash, like you mentioned, some of the other games, Virtual Console, there's no reason why they can't hit that number. So 2018 should be a stellar year for Switch. Like we said, not a whole lot known, so these predictions could come into play. Maybe all of them, maybe some of them, maybe none. We'll score ourselves at the end of the year, and we're definitely going to take a look at yours. So make sure to leave your Switch 2018 predictions in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and this hopefully epic year. If they want to reach 30, they're going to have to do some good stuff, and I sense that it is coming. So until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. For myself and Gabriel, Switch Force, out.